Hello, welcome to Pasinic Mom, a podcast by three Vietnamese college students trying to navigate adulthood through the scope of both our Vietnamese and American cultures. We're just here to chat and share our stories. My name is Jasmine, and this week I have a little cloud in my room.
So cute. I'm Cindy, and this week I'm studying for my head to toe assessment for nursing class. I also brought my stethoscope here today.
Ooh, that's big, man. Ooh. Yeah, and my name is Zui. You can call me Kevin. But this week I'm drowning in math homework. There's a lot of math this week.
This week, we're sharing our career plans, why we would like to pursue them, and our backup plans for any instance that our plans may go awry. We'll start off with Zui. Zui, what are your current plans after school and why?
After school, well, right now I'm in college. So for my plans in college right now, well, it's not really like set in stone. Really, like I'm kind of bouncing around majors to be honest, or bouncing around what I want to do. But currently, at this moment, I am pursuing what is it? A degree in psychology, and then probably in the end, I'll probably go into something like physical therapy or some sort of like pediatric physician or some. And weird enough, I might go in. I want to probably like minor in ethnic studies or something like that. But some of the reasons I kind of like chose these or like ideas of what I want to do is because like growing up, I was in a youth group. As you guys already know, we're all to the same youth group and
Me
all that.
too.
Yeah, we all go to the same youth group. But for me, it feels special to me, I guess, because like growing up, I was like you were like the kid being taken care of by like all these youth leaders and like the older kids, right? And then as we kind of went through the whole system of the whole youth group, we developed into or we transitioned into the caretakers, like as we get older we start taking care of the kids. And then just for me, I guess I kind of clicked with it. I really liked helping the kids and all that stuff. So I definitely want something in the future to be oh if my what is it my so help me, what was the word?
Your
My
what?
occupation. There we go. There we go. My occupation to be something to do with like working with kids, because I guess that's something that clicks with me the most. And then weird enough, ethnic studies, like for the past like I don't know past year or so, I took a few classes on like ethnic studies, like let's say like the history on Asian Americans in the U.S. or like what was the other one? I took a class on the Soviet Union, like the history of the Soviet Union. So something about like ethnic studies. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I would say that like service that we learn from youth group and from church also coincides with what I want to do, because I would like to be a lawyer, specifically anything like along the lines of defense attorney, because I don't think I have it in me to be a prosecutor. But anyways,
Objection.
that's a judge, but yes.
I was about
Oh
to say,
shit. I'm dumb.
But yeah, right now I'm double majoring, for those of you who don't know, in English and Law, Societies, and Justice at UW. And I plan on specifically pursuing immigration law, but I'm really open to changing my mind, obviously, because I still have law school to go to and like way more years of life to figure out exactly where I want to go. But yeah, I'm open to changing my mind during that time. But I would also really love to get involved with grassroots and community organizing, because I think it would be really cool to work directly with communities to make change. Because while like politics and lobbying sounds really, really, really fun and interesting, I think there's a lot to be said about community organizing and how that can have an impact with a lot of people. Um, so that's something else I'd want to do, work with nonprofits if I can. And like the reason why I'd want to do all of this is because I've just always been someone who likes to help others. So I'd like to use my interests and passions in law to do that, because I'm really interested in government and how it functions and how law works the way it does to protect people. And while it doesn't always protect people, I want it to get to a place where it can. Plus, like, as a kid of immigrants, I want to be able to help people build a future for themselves and their families, like my parents did, and like my grandparents did, and all my aunts and uncles, because I also know what it's like to feel out of place, and I want to help people who are interested in attaining their U.S. citizenship to gain a sense of belonging here, because America can be a pretty scary place, and citizenship is not easy. But yeah, how about you, Cindy? What do you want to do?
I have a question.
Oh, yes,
Oh yeah, I have a question about your career choice. You said grassroots. What are grassroots?
Grassroots is like community organizing. So it's like really, really people based, community based. Like, AOC, one of the reps from New York in the House of Representatives right now, before she got her start in office, she did a lot of grassroots organizing, working directly with the people. And I think that's really important because, like, I don't know, the people aren't heard enough. So, yeah.
So that raises a question, like, in your future, do you think you'll go into any sort of, like, high position in the government or anything like that?
That
Or,
sounds
like, politics
scary.
or something? I don't know, just...
That sounds scary.
Scary
I think
for you?
I'd rather do
Okay.
like local
I think the question is if
politics.
she wants to, not
Yeah,
if she
yeah.
will.
Well, I mean, like, it does, like... Because I know that you want to help out with, like, what is it? So, what is it? The question is, would you want to be the change or participate in the change? You know? Like, because you...
Both.
Okay, like... So, like, if you want to be the change, you're gonna be going into, like, the big leagues, like
Yeah.
like the politics, and then like
But you can
running
also-
for like change, right? You're gonna be the one making the change.
But you
Yeah.
can also be the
Or
change,
you-
like,
or you
as
one
the
who is,
people.
like, yeah.
That's my thing. Like, that's my thing with community
Sure, yeah.
organizing.
Yeah.
You
For
can
sure.
definitely do a lot of change with the
Gotcha,
community.
gotcha.
But yeah, I'd probably, if I were to ever do politics, don't quote me on this, but I'll probably just stay in, like, local politics.
Who knows?
Anything.
In like the future, we don't know.
No. Anyways, moving on. Cindy.
Alright, so I already introduced this in our first podcast for online learning. And if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that one after this one. Just plug. But I'm in nursing school right now, so I'm on track to become a registered nurse. And I really want to go in some sort of specialized care, even though I'm not sure what yet. I've been thinking like cardiac ICU, like a nurse practitioner, but in general, I want to work in a field that works towards making healthcare a place of security for everybody. So kind of going into like equity and justice and stuff like that. So let me just pull out my college application really quick. But the reason why I want to be a nurse is because, or in general, a nurse is because I've always been interested in the sciences. In middle school and high school, that is not to say I was good at them, but I thought they were cool. Because I like how in science you're presented with all these processes and they flow together and then they connect with each other, and it's so cool.
Cool for you, maybe.
Really, I always thought it was cool.
It's so cool.
It's
and then
cool, but I just could never. Anyways.
like connects with the whole body. It's like,
I love how like
Yes!
certain theories go with other theories, and then like this connects with this, and it's all this. It's one like system that's so cool.
exactly. It's
Yes.
My heart's pounding. I'm in love. Um, but yeah, I've also always had a passion to help others in the way that I could. So, me, Jasmine, we've been in the same youth group. You guys have been in for a little bit longer than I have, but we've been in the same group, and I feel like the work that they present in the youth group has contributed to what I want to do. So, yeah, I've always had a passion to help others by sharing the knowledge I had and by volunteering. I will say that my biggest motivation to volunteer was because of college stats. but
Ooh.
but I actually did like the work. So, two for one, right? And that's why I kept doing like all these different volunteer works, even if they didn't relate to each other, just so I could get different perspectives. Um, so with those two factors, they best link to nursing for me, since nursing works to help a patient or just anyone achieve their best health status physically and emotionally. Mhm.
Yeah, and I know that you would like to pursue nursing a little bit further, right? Beyond a bachelor's.
Yeah, I'm thinking of nurse practitioner, but like, I don't know. I was thinking psychiatric nurse practitioner, but then after I was thinking of that role, I kind of assessed how I handle like emotional problems to my close community, and it's not that well as of right now. So I can't see working or being a psychiatrist, psych,
Psychiatric.
psychiatrist,
Psychiatric.
psychiat. Yes, that's the word.
Psychiatric.
Psychiatric nurse practitioner.
It's okay, English is hard.
um,
Oh,
that's not my
English.
goal right now, but we'll see if I emo like I want to have a good emotional and mental health status to pursue that career.
Good mental health, what's that?
Oh my.
I'm sorry. I'm
Guys,
sorry.
it's alright. We're young. We'll get there.
Well, speaking of which, we're all pretty driven people, so I highly doubt, cross your fingers, that we won't really need to enact our backup plans unless something major happens in our lives that causes us to do so. But if we do, Cindy, what would you like to do as your backup plan?
Excuse me. Um, well, like you said, can't, I honestly can't imagine myself studying in any other field besides healthcare or medicine. But I don't know, if nursing doesn't work out, I would drop out of school. Because I can't think of doing any other major. Um, but I would drop out of school and like open a cafe. I feel like my hobbies outside of school include making cafe like drinks and desserts. So I would
Become a
definitely open a
barista.
cafe. Exactly. I want to
Yeah!
be barista.
You can have a
And
really
I don't know.
aesthetic cafe.
Yes.
You can have a
And
cat
then
cafe too.
decorate it. I'm allergic to
Oh,
cats.
dang it, I
Which
forget
is so
that.
ironic
I
because you
forget
work with
that.
cats, like at one point.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I put a little story? I must say a little story. So I used to volunteer at this cat shelter, right?
You did?
And yes, I did. And
I did not know that. I'm sorry.
okay, well, to my defense, I didn't know you're double majoring, so um, back at you. But um, yeah, I used to volunteer at a cat shelter um in high school, and I my eyes would like water, or I would get the sniffles, and I it was really weird. I was like told my friend about it, and she said, "Oh, you probably have a dust allergy." And I said, "Yeah, that's true. I should probably like clean better." But then I don't think that was it. I think it
You
was the cat.
clean, you quote unquote clean better, and nothing
Yeah,
happened.
I think because if you do a deeper clean, then you're going to be closer to the cats. And I was like, I don't think it's the dust. I think it's the cat. Because I got really close to a cat once and my eyes were like really watery and sniffy. So I had to take allergy medication before every volunteer session after that.
That's really unfortunate.
Man, I would have been in the
Yes.
same situation though, because I'm also allergic to cats.
Oh, that feels bad, bro. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
allergic to anything, just like seasonal allergies. But yeah. Um,
Okay, flex.
Getting back on
Fine.
topic on backup plans, Z, what would you want to do if you can't do what you intend to?
Well, I think it goes back to what like I kind of mentioned earlier of being in the youth group and being like growing up in the youth group and all that stuff. I would probably go into something like youth minister or something like that. Something that works with youth for sure. Like because I think I want to work with kids and I have a cousin who's actually a teacher, so she has told us how it's very rewarding to see like what you put into the work and then what you see come out of it. Because I think she had this story where she had a student like years later, like I think took her out to lunch or something like that after, and it was like kind of crazy to see how you see this person you kind of uh, educated like when they were younger, and then to see how much they've grown in the future. Just it's like building connections with these people, and so like for me, since I'm studying psychology, I can probably go into a good amount of like different careers, but I think for my passion, being able to help people physically and mentally, I would want to do something that's kind of like related to youth work, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Like, you'd do it within the church, or would you do it like community based schools?
I think I would probably seek out different options for sure. Um, yeah, I'd say, and even because since I'm like majoring in psychology, I could even go back to school in the future if I want to. If I don't want to, blah blah blah. But if I would want to, I could probably go into like something like a teaching degree or something like that, or just something that can help me into a different like career or something. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. My backup plan is pretty similar. I love working with kids. For my senior year, before everything was closed, I volunteered with a middle school classroom and a few times a week, and I did tutoring senior year, and I still do tutoring now. And I've always kind of wanted to be a teacher before I wanted to become a lawyer. So I think I would still like to pursue that eventually, maybe again. But yeah, my current backup plan is to become a teacher. That's actually why I wanted to double major with English, not only because I am really fascinated by the English language and like writing and words and stuff, but also because I want to be able to have a path to in case like law doesn't work out or something. I think being an English teacher would be really fun, working with kids, high schoolers. Perhaps at some point be a professor, but that would require research, and research sounds like a lot of work. Um, but yeah, and I'm also really passionate. I'll always be really passionate about like social justice, and like community and making change and helping people. So I think I would also like continue to do grassroots on the side and nonprofits if I can. Just helping out in my community when I have the time, which I'm sure I will make the time. But yeah,
Yeah, I think kudos to you guys for considering teaching, and I think you guys would be great teachers based on your passion. For me personally, I don't think I can be a teacher. Like, I think I tutor right now. I'm tutoring three students as of right now, and um, I think that is enough for me. I can't imagine teaching an entire class. of people. That's a
Well,
lot.
when you put it that way.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think for me, it's like depends on what I'm teaching, you know, because
Yeah.
like I think
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was younger, people would always like ask me to like help them or teach them this thing or this or that, and I would always be like, no, I'm a horrible teacher. Don't ask me. I suck at teaching, right? But I think it depends on like the type of like material or like the topic on which I'm teaching. So like,
Yeah, I guarantee
Yeah.
you don't want me as a
Uh.
science teacher. That ain't gonna cut it. For those of you listening who don't know, I suck at science, which is why I could never pursue the kinds of field Zoe and Cindy I'm going into.
I mean, but like, I get it. I cannot teach like what grammar. I'm not even that
Grammar's
good
so
with
much
grammar.
fun.
Hey, if you like grammar, you do grammar.
It is not
We don't like
inconsistent.
grammar.
Grammar like by definition, grammar is consistent. It's just
Grammar
has
no good.
different
I do
weird.
not like English.
It has weird wonky rules, but okay.
That makes it inconsistent, Jasmine.
No, but the rules are consistent. It just has different pathways. It's like a puzzle you gotta do. Grammar is
Jasmine will
fun.
help us in our English essays, and we will help her with her STEM if she ever takes STEM.
Oh,
For some
Jasmine ain't
reason.
taking STEM.
Yeah, I don't think she
I'm
ever
in a-
will, but
I'm currently in a
If on the
liberal
off
arts
chance.
physics class where no math is involved. We just learn theory. So I'm not actually learning
Physics.
much STEM. It's like quantum mechanics and relativity and like time and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting, but
wait,
no
that sounds
math is
fun to me
involved.
now. I kind of
Yeah,
want to take it.
it's pretty interesting.
What does
The
that have
professor
to
is
do
really
with
nice
liberal arts?
because there's no math involved. You learn about the theory behind it and the history.
Oh, it's just a theory.
And it's
Oh.
and it's geared towards humanities students. So that would be me. Humanities students who cannot do science for their lives. But yeah. Cindy, I think you had a question.
Oh, yes. So I was wondering, if we all had to do the same career together, what career would it be? Like if we had to be on one team and pursue the
On
same
one
career.
team.
Yeah.
You guys want to open up a pho restaurant with me? I'm not joking. Like, if everything fails and like literally, which I highly
All
doubt,
about that.
everything won't fail. I think we will be fine in the future. But
I was thinking like
do
a
a pho
book
restaurant.
cafe, like a reading cafe. And
that serves pho.
I mean that ain't out of
I mean,
the
I like
picture. You can do
It
boba.
could be a Vietnamese cafe.
You can keep making boba.
And then Cindy can be the barista making the drinks.
Yes.
And I'll buy all the books.
Yes. And apparently Zwee's doing the pho because he's so passionate about it.
I will make pho. If you guys don't know, I can make pho. Like I think over the summer I tried to make pho and
By
it's kinda
yourself?
good. It's
He's
I
made
make
it by
pho.
himself.
I made pho by myself. Yeah, I make it by myself. I make it for the family, and so like, I'm just saying, it's pretty good.
As
I
you
think
guys
we
can
have
see,
to
Zui is
judge
pretty
it first.
humble. Zui is pretty humble.
Serve it to me first and then we will determine. It's kind of my favorite food.
Really?
I should get you a bowl the next time I make it.
I think I've had pho too much for it to be my favorite food. I don't know. I think there's better noodle soups out there. Just saying. There's better soups. What?
You call yourself Vietnamese?
Okay, bún bò Huế.
I'm kidding.
Bún
I'm
riêu?
kidding.
Don't come at me.
You're right.
Bún bò Huế is
You're
way
right.
better than pho. Sorry. Not sorry.
Wait, I was nodding until that.
she went.
Bún bò Huế is so much better than pho. Anyways. Yeah.
We all have our
Yeah,
personal
okay.
preferences.
Tweets around. But well, it looks like we all have some pretty different ideas of what we would like to do. Although maybe we will end up opening a book cafe weird combo. um, but what kind of advice would you guys give to anyone listening who is having trouble figuring out their plans?
I'll go first. For me, I would say find out what you like to do and what you're passionate in learning about. I know this seems really generic, um, but that's really the key to it for me. So, like I mentioned earlier, I found my passion in volunteering and helping out others, and I was interested in learning about the sciences. And that, you know, when you're thinking about what you're passionate in learning about, that doesn't always mean college. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and just a note on that, it's like it's kind of cool how all of us went through the youth group, but we all took something different out of it. You know, like what is it? Yeah, I mean, we all have like certain like commonalities, but we have definitely took the things that we what is it? We all took something different of it, and we pursued it differently. You know, and so
Hmm.
going off of what Cindy said is definitely research what you want to do, like definitely find what you're passionate about and then keep researching it, and then so that you can pursue an occupation that you feel satisfied with in the future.
You should take those like career personality tests. Those would be a really good start. Yeah.
It does help. It gives you some sort of perspective of who you are.
Where am I?
Yeah, I have some pretty similar like um going back to what Cindy said about college. Um I'm someone who, even though I really love school and I think education is really important, I'm someone who also strongly believes college really isn't necessary if what you want to do is doesn't really need it. Like if you want to go into the trades or if you want to go into service industry, it's not always needed. Obviously, like there are ways to get formal education for them, but that those kinds of methods vary. But yeah, and I also think I'm a strong believer that we all also have time to do and figure out what we want and that we should do what we want and to avoid being in an unhappy and place and feeling stuck. So yeah, like going off of what both Cindy and Z said, I'd say to think about what you're interested in, think about what you're passionate about, and take your time with it. Like, well, education obviously is always necessary, but there's multiple ways of receiving that education. So like college isn't always necessary, um, and you should really work hard towards those goals. You, you got this. But yeah, and it's okay if you don't know
Oh,
what you want to do. We're all pretty confident that we'll be able to achieve our goals, but just in case, we have our backup plans and hope you do too. We're cheering all of you on as you work towards your own goals.
yeah. So thank you all for listening to us talk about our career plans. Thinking about them can be pretty stressful, so we hope this podcast has opened your mind or provided some ideas on how to walk through that. And be sure to tune in next Friday for our next one.
Yep, and our podcast is available on Spotify and YouTube under our name. You can also follow us on Instagram at Past the McMom to connect with us and receive updates on our podcast. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, it's Cindy with our featured charity of the week, Dress for Success. They're an organization that works globally to support women by providing professional clothing and resources to help achieve their success in work and life. With this support, it tackles the overwhelming issue of poverty, which has stopped women from reaching their dreams, and fighting against gender equality. So please consider donating either your gently used clothes or money using the link in the description below. Till next time, guys. Bye.